This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Today's reading by Kara Schallenberg, www.kray.org. Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. Book 4, Children of Adam. To the Garden, the World. To the garden, the world anew ascending, potent mates, daughters, sons, preluding the love, the life of their bodies, meaning and being. Curious here, behold my resurrection after slumber, the revolving cycles in their wide sweep having brought me again, amorous, mature, all beautiful to me, all wondrous. My limbs and the quivering fire that ever plays through them, for reasons most wondrous, existing I peer and penetrate still, content with the present, content with the past, by my side or back of me Eve following, or in front, and I following her just the same. From Pent-Up Aching Rivers. From pent-up aching rivers, from that of myself without which I were nothing, from what I am determined to make illustrious, even if I stand sole among men, from my own voice resonant, singing the phallus, singing the song of procreation, singing the need of superb children, and therein superb grown people, singing the muscular urge and the blending, singing the bedfellow's song. O resistless yearning! O for any and each the body correlative attracting! O for you whoever you are, your correlative body! O it, more than all else, you delighting! From the hungry gnaw that eats me night and day, from native moments, from bashful pains, singing them, seeking something yet unfound, though I have diligently sought it many a long year. Singing the true song of the soul fitful at random, renascent with grossest nature, or among animals, of that, of them and what goes with them, my poems informing, of the smell of apples and lemons, of the pairing of birds, of the wet of woods, of the lapping of waves, of the mad pushes of waves upon the land, I them chanting, the overture lightly sounding, the strain anticipating, the welcome nearness, the sight of the perfect body, the swimmer swimming naked in the bath, or motionless on his back, lying and floating, the female form approaching, I pensive, love flesh tremulous, aching, the divine list for myself or you, or for any one making, the face, the limbs, the index from head to foot and what it arouses, the mystic deliria, the madness amorous, the utter abandonment. Hark close and still what I now whisper to you, I love you, oh you entirely possess me, oh that you and I escape from the rest, and go utterly off, free and lawless, two hawks in the air, two fishes swimming in the sea, not more lawless than we. The furious storm through me careering, I passionately trembling. The oath of the inseparableness of two together, of the woman that loves me and whom I love more than my life, that oath swearing. Oh, I willingly stake all for you, oh let me be lost if it must be so, oh you and I, what is it to us what the rest do or think? What is all else to us, only that we enjoy each other and exhaust each other if it must be so? From the master, the pilot I yield the vessel to, the general commanding me, commanding all, from him permission taking, from time the programme hastening, I have loitered too long as it is. From sex, from the warp and from the woof, from privacy, from frequent repinings alone, from plenty of persons near, and yet the right person not near, from the soft sliding of hands over me and thrusting of fingers through my hair and beard, from the long sustained kiss upon the mouth or bosom, from the close pressure that makes me or any man drunk, fainting with excess, from what the divine husband knows, from the work of fatherhood, from exaltation, victory and relief, from the bedfellow's embrace in the night, from the act poems of eyes, hands, hips and bosoms, from the cling of the trembling arm, from the bending curve and the clinch, from side by side the pliant coverlet off throwing, from the one so unwilling to have me leave, and me just as unwilling to leave. Yet a moment, O tender waiter, and I return. From the hour of shining stars and dropping dews, from the night a moment I emerging, flitting out. Celebrate, you act divine, and you children prepared for, and you stalwart loins. I sing the body electric. 1. I sing the body electric. The armies of those I love engirth me, and I engirth them. They will not let me off till I go with them, respond to them, and discorrupt them, and charge them full with the charge of the soul. Was it doubted that those who corrupt their own bodies conceal themselves? And if those who defile the living are as bad as they who defile the dead? And if the body does not do fully as much as the soul, and if the body were not the soul, what is the soul? 2. The love of the body of man or woman balks account. The body itself balks account. That of the male is perfect, and that of the female is perfect. The expression of the face balks account, but the expression of a well-made man appears not only in his face, it is in his limbs and joints also. It is curiously in the joints of his hips and wrists. It is in his walk, the carriage of his neck, the flex of his waist and knees. Dress does not hide him. The strong sweet quality he has strikes through the cotton and broadcloth. To see him pass conveys as much as the best poem, perhaps more. You linger to see his back, and the back of his neck and shoulder side. The sprawl and fullness of babes, the bosoms and heads of women, the folds of their dress, their style as we pass in the street, the contour of their shape downwards, the swimmer naked in the swimming bath, seen as he swims through the transparent greenshine, or lies with his face up, and rolls silently to and from the heave of the water. The bending forward and backward of rowers in rowboats, the horseman in his saddle. Girls, mothers, housekeepers, in all their performances, the group of labourers, seated at noontime, with their dinner kettles, and their wives waiting. The female soothing a child, the farmer's daughter in the garden or cow-yard, the young fellow hoeing corn, the sleigh driver driving his 6 horses through the crowd, the wrestle of wrestlers, 2 apprentice boys, quite grown, lusty, good-natured, native-born, out on the vacant lot at sundown after work, the coats and caps thrown down, the embrace of love and resistance, the upper hold and under hold, the hair rumpled over and blinding the eyes. The march of firemen in their own costumes, the play of masculine muscle through clean-setting trousers and waist-straps, the slow return from the fire, the pause when the bell strikes suddenly again, and the listening on the alert, the natural, perfect, varied attitudes, the bent head, the curved neck, and the counting. Such like I love, I loosen myself, pass freely, am at the mother's breast with the little child, swim with the swimmers, wrestle with wrestlers, march in line with the firemen, and pause, listen, count. 3. I knew a man, a common farmer, the father of 5 sons, and in them the fathers of sons, and in them the fathers of sons. This man was a wonderful vigor, calmness, beauty of person. The shape of his head, the pale yellow and white of his hair and beard, the immeasurable meaning of his black eyes, the richness and breadth of his manners. These I used to go and visit him to see. He was wise also. He was 6 feet tall. He was over 80 years old. His sons were massive, clean, bearded, tan-faced, handsome. They and his daughters loved him. All who saw him loved him. They did not love him by allowance. They loved him with personal love. He drank water only. The blood showed like scarlet through the clear brown skin of his face. He was a frequent gunner and fisher. He sailed his boat himself. He had a fine one presented to him by a ship joiner. He had fowling pieces presented to him by men that loved him. When he went with his 5 sons and many grandsons to hunt or fish, you would pick him out as the most beautiful and vigorous of the gang. You would wish long and long to be with him. You would wish to sit by him in the boat, that you and he might touch each other. 4. I have perceived that to be with those I like is enough. To stop in company with the rest at evening is enough. To be surrounded by beautiful, curious, breathing, laughing flesh is enough. To pass among them, or touch any one, or rest my arm ever so lightly round his or her neck for a moment, what is this then? I do not ask any more delight. I swim in it as in a sea. There is something in staying close to men and women, and looking on them, and in the contact and odor of them that pleases the soul well. All things please the soul, but these please the soul well. 5. This is the female form. A divine nimbus exhales from it from head to foot. It attracts with fierce, undeniable attraction. I am drawn by its breath, as if I were no more than a helpless vapor. All falls aside but myself and it, books, art, religion, time, the visible and solid earth, and what was expected of heaven or feared of hell are now consumed. Mad filaments, ungovernable shoots play out of it, the response likewise ungovernable. Hair, bosom, hips, bend of legs, negligent falling hands, all diffused, mine too diffused. Ebb stung by the flow, and flow stung by the ebb, love flesh swelling and deliciously aching. Limitless limpid jets of love, hot and enormous, quivering jelly of love, white blow and delirious nice. Bridegroom, night of love working surely and softly into the prostrate dawn. undulating into the willing and yielding day, lost in the cleave of the clasping and sweet-fleshed day. This the nucleus. After the child is born of woman, man is born of woman. This the bath of birth, this the merge of small and large, and the outlet again. Be not ashamed, women, your privilege encloses the rest, and is the exit of the rest. You are the gates of the body, and you are the gates of the soul. The female contains all qualities and tempers them. She is in her place and moves with perfect balance. She is all things duly veiled. She is both passive and active. She is to conceive daughters as well as sons, and sons as well as daughters. As I see my soul reflected in nature, as I see through a mist, one with inexpressible completeness, sanity, beauty, see the bent head and arms folded over the breast, the female I see. 6. The male is not less the soul, nor more, he too is in his place. He too is all qualities, he is action and power. The flush of the known universe is in him. Scorn becomes him well, and appetite and defiance become him well. The wildest, largest passions, bliss that is utmost, sorrow that is utmost become him well. Pride is for him. The full spread pride of man is calming and excellent to the soul. Knowledge becomes him. He likes it always. He brings everything to the test of himself. Whatever the survey, whatever the sea and the sail, he strikes soundings at last only here. Where else does he strike soundings except here? The man's body is sacred, and the woman's body is sacred. No matter who it is sacred. Is it the meanest one in the laborer's gang? Is it one of the dull-faced immigrants just landed on the wharf? Each belongs here or anywhere, just as much as the well-off, just as much as you. Each has his or her place in the procession. All is a procession. The universe is a procession with measured and perfect motion. Do you know so much yourself that you call the meanest ignorant? Do you suppose you have a right to a good sight, and he or she has no right to a sight? Do you think matter has cohered together from its diffuse float, and the soil is on the surface, and water runs and vegetation sprouts for you only, and not for him and her? 7. A man's body at auction. For, before the war, I often go to the slave mart, and watch the sale. I help the auctioneer, the sloven does not half know his business. Gentlemen, look on this wonder. Whatever the bids of the bidders, they cannot be high enough for it. For it the globe lay preparing quintillions of years without one animal or plant. For it the revolving cycles truly and steadily rolled. In this head the all-baffling brain, in it and below it the makings of heroes. Examine these limbs, red, black, or white, they are cunning in tendon and nerve. They shall be stripped that you may see them. Exquisite senses, life-lit eyes, pluck, volition, flakes of breast muscle, pliant backbone and neck, flesh not flabby, good-sized arms and legs, and wonders within there yet. Within there runs blood, the same old blood, the same red running blood. There swells and jets a heart, there all passions, desires, reachings, aspirations. Do you think they are not there because they are not expressed in parlors and lecture rooms? This is not only one man, this is the father of those who shall be fathers in their turns. In him the start of populous states and rich republics. Of him countless immortal lives with countless embodiments and enjoyments. How do you know who shall come from the offspring of his offspring through the centuries? Who might you find you have come from yourself, if you could trace back through the centuries? 8. A woman's body at auction. She too is not only herself, she is the teeming mother of mothers. She is the bearer of them that shall grow and be mates to the mothers. Have you ever loved the body of a woman? Have you ever loved the body of a man? Do you not see that these are exactly the same to all, in all nations and times, all over the earth? If anything is sacred, the human body is sacred, and the glory and sweet of a man is the token of manhood untainted, and in man or woman a clean, strong, firm fibred body is more beautiful than the most beautiful face. Have you seen the fool that corrupted his own live body, or the fool that corrupted her own live body? For they do not conceal themselves, and cannot conceal themselves. 9. O my body, I dare not desert the likes of you in other men and women, nor the likes of the parts of you. I believe the likes of you are to stand or fall with the likes of the soul, and that they are the soul. I believe the likes of you shall stand or fall with my poems, and that they are my poems. Man's, woman's, child's, youth's, wife's, husband's, mother's, father's, young man's, young woman's poems. Head, neck, hair, ears, drop and tympan of the ears. Eyes, eye fringes, iris of the eye, eyebrows, and the waking or sleeping of the lids. Mouth, tongue, lips, teeth, roof of the mouth, jaws, and the jaw hinges. Nose, nostrils of the nose, and the partition. Cheeks, temples, forehead, chin, throat, back of the neck, neck slew. Strong shoulders, manly beard, scapula, hind shoulders, and the ample side round of the chest. Upper arm, armpit, elbow socket, lower arm, arm sinews, arm bones, wrist and wrist joints, hand, palm, knuckles, thumb, forefinger, finger joints, finger nails. Broad breast front, curling hair of the breast, breastbone, breast side, ribs, belly, backbone, joints of the backbone. Hips, hip sockets, hip strength, inward and outward round, man balls, man root. Strong set of thighs, well carrying the trunk above. Leg fibers, knee, knee pan, upper leg, under leg, ankles, instep, football, toes, toe joints, the heel. all attitudes, all the shapeliness, all the belongings of my or your body or of anyone's body, male or female, the lung sponges, the stomach sac, the bowels sweet and clean, the brain in its folds inside the skull frame. Sympathies, heart valves, palate valves, sexuality, maternity, womanhood, and all that is a woman, and the man that comes from woman, the womb, the teats, nipples, breast milk, tears, laughter, weeping, love looks, love perturbations and risings, the voice, articulation, language, whispering, shouting aloud, food, drink, pulse, digestion, sweat, sleep, walking, swimming, poise on the hips, leaping, reclining, embracing, arm curving and tightening, the continual changes of the flex of the mouth and around the eyes, the skin, the sunburnt shade, freckles, hair, the curious sympathy one feels when feeling with the hand the naked meat of the body, the circling rivers, the breath, and breathing it in and out, the beauty of the waist, and thence of the hips, and thence downward toward the knees, the thin red jellies within you or within me, the bones, and the marrow in the bones, the exquisite realization of health. Oh, I say these are not the parts and poems of the body only, but of the soul. Oh, I say now, these are the soul. A woman waits for me. A woman waits for me. She contains all. Nothing is lacking. Yet all were lacking if sex were lacking, or if the moisture of the right man were lacking. Sex contains all, bodies, souls, meanings, proofs, purities, delicacies, results, promulgations, songs, commands, health, pride, the maternal mystery, the seminal milk. All hopes, benefactions, bestowals, all the passions, loves, beauties, delights of the earth, all the governments, judges, gods, followed persons of the earth, these are contained in sex as parts of itself and justifications of itself. Without shame, the man I like knows and avows the deliciousness of his sex. Without shame, the woman I like knows and avows hers. Now I will dismiss myself from impassive women. I will go stay with her who waits for me, and with those women that are warm-blooded and sufficient for me. I see that they understand me, and do not deny me. I see that they are worthy of me. I will be the robust husband of those women. They are not one jot less than I am. They are tanned in the face by shining suns and blowing winds. Their flesh has the old divine suppleness and strength. They know how to swim, row, ride, wrestle, shoot, run, strike, retreat, advance, resist, defend themselves. They are ultimate in their own right. They are calm, clear, well possessed of themselves. I draw you close to me, you women. I cannot let you go, I would do you good. I am for you, and you are for me, not only for our own sake, but for others' sakes. Enveloped in you sleep greater heroes and bards. They refuse to awake at the touch of any man but me. It is I, you women, I make my way, I am stern, acrid, large, undissuadable, but I love you. I do not hurt you any more than is necessary for you. I pour the stuff to start sons and daughters fit for these states. I press with slow rude muscle. I brace myself effectually, I listen to no entreaties. I dare not withdraw till I deposit what has so long accumulated within me. Through you I drain the pent-up rivers of myself. In you I wrap 1,000 onward years. On you I graft the grafts of the best beloved of me and America. The drops I distill upon you shall grow fierce and athletic girls, new artists, musicians, and singers. The babes I beget upon you are to beget babes in their turn. I shall demand perfect men and women out of my love spendings. I shall expect them to interpenetrate with others, as I and you interpenetrate now. I shall count on the fruits of the gushing showers of them, as I count on the fruits of the gushing showers I give now. I shall look for loving crops from the birth, life, death, immortality I plant so lovingly now. Spontaneous Me. Spontaneous me, nature, the loving day, the mounting sun, the friend I am happy with, the arm of my friend hanging idly over my shoulder, the hillside whitened with blossoms of the mountain ash, the same late in autumn, the hues of red, yellow, drab, purple, and light and dark green. The rich coverlet of the grass, animals and birds, the private untrimmed bank, the primitive apples, the pebble stones, beautiful dripping fragments, the negligent list of one after another, as I happen to call them to me or think of them, the real poems, what we call poems being merely pictures, the poems of the privacy of the night, and of men like me, this poem drooping, shy, and unseen, that I always carry, and that all men carry. Know once for all, avowed on purpose, wherever are men like me, are our lusty lurking masculine poems. Love thoughts, love juice, love odor, love yielding, love climbers, and the climbing sap. Arms and hands of love, lips of love, phallic thumb of love, breasts of love, bellies pressed and glued together with love, earth of chaste love, life that is only life after love, the body of my love, the body of the woman I love, the body of the man, the body of the earth. Soft forenoon airs that blow from the southwest, the hairy wild bee that murmurs and hankers up and down, that grips the full-grown lady flower, curves upon her with amorous firm legs, takes his will of her, and holds himself tremulous and tight, till he is satisfied. The wet of woods through the early hours. Two sleepers at night lying close together as they sleep, one with an arm slanting down across and below the waist of the other. The smell of apples, aromas from crushed sage plant, mint, birch bark. The boy's longings, the glow and pressure as he confides to me what he was dreaming. The dead leaf whirling its spiral whirl and falling still and content to the ground. The no-formed stings that sights, people, objects sting me with, the hubbed sting of myself, stinging me as much as it ever can any one. The sensitive, orbic, underlapped brothers, that only privileged feelers may be intimate where they are. The curious roamer, the hand roaming all over the body, the bashful withdrawing of flesh where the fingers soothingly pause and edge themselves, the limpid liquid within the young man, the vexed corrosion so pensive and so painful, the torment, the irritable tide that will not be at rest, the like of the same I feel, the like of the same in others, the young man that flushes and flushes, and the young woman that flushes and flushes, the young man that wakes deep at night, the hot hand seeking to repress what would master him, the mystic amorous night, the strange half-welcome pangs, visions, sweats, the pulse pounding through palms and trembling encircling fingers, the young man all colored, red, ashamed, angry, the souse upon me of my lover the sea, as I lie willing and naked, the merriment of the twin babes that crawl over the grass in the sun, the mother never turning her vigilant eyes from them, the walnut trunk, the walnut husks, and the ripening or ripened long round walnuts, the continents of vegetables, birds, animals, the consequent meanness of me should I skulk or find myself indecent, while birds and animals never once skulk or find themselves indecent. The great chastity of paternity, to match the great chastity of maternity. The oath of procreation I have sworn, my Adamic and fresh daughters, the greed that eats me day and night with hungry gnaw, till I saturate what shall produce boys to fill my place when I am through, the wholesome relief, repose, content. And this bunch plucked at random from myself, it has done its work, I toss it carelessly, to fall where it may. 1 hour to madness and joy. 1 hour to madness and joy! O furious! O confine me not! What is this that frees me so in storms? What do my shouts amid lightnings and raging winds mean? O to drink the mystic deliria deeper than any other man! O savage and tender achings! I bequeath them to you my children, I tell them to you for reasons, O bridegroom and bride. O to be yielded to you whoever you are, and you to be yielded to me in defiance of the world! O to return to paradise! O bashful and feminine! O to draw you to me, to plant on you for the first time the lips of a determined man! O the puzzle, the thrice-tied knot, the deep and dark pool, all untied and illumined! O to speed where there is space enough and air enough at last! To be absolved from previous ties and conventions, I from mine and you from yours! To find a new unthought of nonchalance with the best of nature! To have the gag removed from one's mouth! To have the feeling today or any day I am sufficient as I am! O something unproved, something in a trance! To escape utterly from others' anchors and holds, to drive free, to love free, to dash reckless and dangerous, to court destruction with taunts, with invitations, to ascend, to leap to the heavens of the love indicated to me, to rise thither with my inebriate soul, to be lost, if it must be so, to feed the remainder of life with 1 hour of fullness and freedom, with 1 brief hour of madness and joy. Out of the rolling ocean the crowd. Out of the rolling ocean the crowd came a drop gently to me, whispering, I love you, before long I die. I have traveled a long way merely to look on you, to touch you, for I could not die till I once looked on you, for I feared I might afterward lose you. Now we have met, we have looked, we are safe. Return in peace to the ocean, my love. I too am part of that ocean, my love. We are not so much separated. Behold the great rondure, the cohesion of all, how perfect! But as for me, for you, the irresistible sea is to separate us. As for an hour carrying us diverse, yet cannot carry us diverse forever. Be not impatient, a little space. Know you I salute the air, the ocean, and the land every day at sundown, for your dear sake, my love. Ages and ages, returning at intervals. Ages and ages, returning at intervals, undestroyed, wandering immortal, lusty, phallic, with the potent original loins, perfectly sweet, I, chanter of Adamic songs, through the new garden the west, the great cities calling, deliriate, thus prelude what is generated, offering these, offering myself, bathing my songs in sex, offspring of my loins. We two, how long we were fooled. We two, how long we were fooled. Now transmuted, we swiftly escape as nature escapes. We are nature. Long have we been absent, but now we return. We become plants, trunks, foliage, roots, bark. We are bedded in the ground. We are rocks. We are oaks. We grow in the openings, side by side. We browse. We are two among the wild herds, spontaneous as any. We are two fishes swimming in the sea together. We are what locust blossoms are. We drop scent around lanes, mornings and evenings. We are also the coarse smut of beasts, vegetables, minerals. We are two predatory hawks. We soar above and look down. We are two resplendent suns. We it is who balance ourselves orbic and stellar. We are as two comets. We prowl fanged and 4-footed in the woods. We spring on prey. We are two clouds, forenoons and afternoons, driving overhead. We are seas mingling. We are two of those cheerful waves rolling over each other and interwetting each other. We are what the atmosphere is, transparent, receptive, pervious, impervious. We are snow, rain, cold, darkness. We are each product and influence of the globe. We have circled and circled till we have arrived home again, we two. We have voided all but freedom and all but our own joy. O Hymen, O Hymene! O Hymen, O Hymene! Why do you tantalize me thus? Oh, why sting me for a swift moment only? Why can you not continue? Oh, why do you now cease? Is it because if you continued beyond the swift moment, you would soon certainly kill me? I am he that aches with love. I am he that aches with amorous love. Does the earth gravitate? Does not all matter, aching, attract all matter? So the body of me to all I meet or know. Native Moments. Native moments, when you come upon me, ah, you are here now, give me now libidinous joys only. Give me the drench of my passions, give me life coarse and rank. To-day I go consort with nature's darlings, to-night too. I am for those who believe in loose delights. I share the midnight orgies of young men. I dance with the dancers and drink with the drinkers. The echoes ring with our indecent calls. I pick out some low person for my dearest friend. He shall be lawless, rude, illiterate. He shall be one condemned by others for deeds done. I will play a part no longer. Why should I exile myself from my companions? O you shunned persons, I at least do not shun you. I come forthwith in your midst, I will be your poet. I will be more to you than to any of the rest. Once I passed through a populous city. Once I passed through a populous city, imprinting my brain for future use with its shows, architecture, customs, traditions. Yet now of all that city I remember only a woman I casually met there, who detained me for love of me. Day by day and night by night we were together. All else has long been forgotten by me. I remember, I say, only that woman who passionately clung to me. Again we wander, we love, we separate again. Again she holds me by the hand, I must not go. I see her close beside me with silent lips, sad and tremulous. I heard you solemn sweet pipes of the organ. I heard you solemn sweet pipes of the organ as last Sunday morn I passed the church. Winds of autumn, as I walked the woods at dusk I heard your long stretched sighs, up above so mournful. I heard the perfect Italian tenor singing at the opera. I heard the soprano in the midst of the quartet singing. Heart of my love, you too I heard murmuring low through one of the wrists around my head. Heard the pulse of you when all was still, ringing little bells last night, under my ear. Facing west from California's shores. Facing west from California's shores, inquiring, tireless, seeking what is yet unfound, I, a child, very old, over waves, towards the house of maternity, the land of migrations, look afar. Look off the shores of my western sea, the circle almost circled, for starting westward from Hindustan, from the vales of Kashmir, from Asia, from the north, from the god, the sage and the hero, from the south, from the flowery peninsulas and the spice islands. Long having wandered since, round the earth having wandered, now I face home again, very pleased and joyous. But where is what I started for so long ago? And why is it yet unfound? As Adam, early in the morning. As Adam, early in the morning, walking forth from the bower refreshed with sleep, behold me where I pass, hear my voice, approach, touch me, touch the palm of your hand to my body as I pass, be not afraid of my body. End of Book 4. Recorded on October 22nd, 2005, in Oceanside, California.